Hi, I'm Taylor Crow, and this is my math project. I am doing standard equation of a parabola centered at 0, 0, and hk. So let's get started. So whenever you're trying to find the focus and directrix, you always are going to use these equations. So you always want to solve for the variable that is not being squared. Okay, sorry, that obviously doesn't make any sense. So say, for instance, you have y equals x squared, because that's our first example, so let's go ahead and solve for it. So, basically, that's the same as y equals 1 over 1 x squared, right? So what we need is we need to solve for p, because p is the distance between the vertex and the focus and directrix. So 4p equals 1 divided by 4 divided by 4, p equals 1/4. Okay, so that's how far away the focus and directrix will be from the vertex. So here I have problem number 1 set up. I just did y equals x squared just so that we can get the feel of things. So here are the equations that I showed you in the last part. We used this one, and we found out that p equals 1/4. So the vertex is right here at 0, 0. So the focus is always going to be inside of your parabola. So whether it's this way or this way or this way, no matter which way it is, it'll always be inside of it. So all it's going to be is right here at 1/4. 1/4 of the way up. 1/4 units up? I don't know. Okay. So that is our focus. So we just found how far away the focus is from the vertex. So since it's 1/4 units upward inside of the parabola, it's going to be at 0, 1/4. So that's where our focus is. So now the directrix. The directrix is basically the same thing, but it is in the opposite direction of where the focus is. It's opposite of the parabola. And it's the same distance away, but this isn't a point. This is actually going to be a line. So this is the directrix. So the directrix is at y equals -1/4. So another way that you can do this quickly, if you're just given the focus, is that the focus is at 0, 1/4. So for the y, it's 1/4. So all you have to do is set your directrix equal to y, since that's where your number is, and then switch the sign. And then there you go, you have your directrix. Now the axis of symmetry, that is super easy. Basically, you find the middle of your parabola where it'll be reflected across. So the axis of symmetry here is just the y-axis. So x equals 0. And there you go. There is how you find your directrix, focus, and axis of symmetry for when you are given a standard equation of a parabola centered at 0, 0. So here is problem number 2. It is a little bit different because it's not centered at 0, 0 anymore. It is centered elsewhere. So here's our equation. And I already drew the parabola. And so this one is actually centered at 3, 4. That's where the vertex is. So now first things first, we need to find what p is, which is, again, the distance from the vertex to the directrix and the focus. So we're using this equation because we have another y equals equation. So if over here, this is our equation, which might look like a little bit much, but basically this part is where it is on the x-axis, and then this part is where it is on the y-axis. So if we just go ahead and take those out, then all we have is y equals negative 2x squared. Now, negative 2 is basically the same thing as negative 2 over 1 x squared y equals. So then if we have y equals 1 over 4p x squared. So we need this and this to figure out what p is. So 1 over 4p and then negative 2 over 1. If we cross multiply, then negative 8p equals 1. Divided by negative 8, divided by negative 8. And we're going to get p equals negative 1/8. So there is our distance to the focus and directrix from 3, 4. So now, all we have to do is place where those are. So I always like to do the focus first because it's just easier to see it because it is inside the parabola. So this one is kind of hard to accurately graph, but we're just gonna, we know it's gonna be close to here because it's only 1/8 inside of the parabola. So here is our focus at 3 and then 3 7/8. So now we just have to do the directrix, which is very easy. You just go 1/8 in the opposite direction. So it would be about here, and remember your directrix is a line. So then your directrix is y equals 4 and 1/8. Can you see that in yellow? Oh, yeah, I guess you can. Okay, and then now the super easy part, the axis of symmetry. So remember, it's just where your parabola reflects itself. So look, our axis of symmetry is at x equals 3.